All right, guys, Jim with 03 Studios again. Second video, kind of following up on yesterday's video. Yesterday I went out and I really kind of dumped a little bit on what most people do when they make a Facebook video. And I talked a lot about just how they go about it wrong, what they're making is wrong. And most of it, what they're making is not even consumed. And that's a huge waste of time, a huge waste of money, and a huge waste of an effort that actually has what I call a negative influence, or I shouldn't say I call it, it is a negative influence on the consumer or the community that you're trying to market your video to. So I kind of alluded that I was going to go ahead and just step by step walk you guys through this process. And I figured, you know what, it's the day before Thanksgiving. It is not a slow day here in the studio, but I was going to hold true. I have made a commitment to deliver 3 videos at a minimum every week to the marketing community, to the business community, to help you guys figure out what you're doing wrong with your marketing efforts. Just real quick, I'm a marketing agency. I'm a content creator, but I'm also a business consultant. That's a little different than most. Most marketing companies have this technique and this focus, and that's what they put all their effort into. I have a larger, broader blanket approach. I have systems that are terrestrial systems, that are radio, that are television, things, that type of marketing background, as well as very much so, like today's times have pushed us to, the digital influence. And I tie all those things into your sales floor. I understand sales. I actually teach sales mechanics and sales training to corporations and sales staff. And we're going to talk a lot about that today, because the first step in making a video is teaching you how to understand where the person is that's consuming that video in their buyer's journey. Now, I'm sure if you've been through any of the marketing gurus or podcasts or books out there, you've come across this buyer's journey concept a time or two. And that's because it is the neuroscience of what a consumer goes through in their shopping process. And we won't get very, very, very deep into it because we're going to speak specifically more towards how it applies to your video creation. But this is the first step in the process. Whatever your video is, it needs to take in consideration, one, who you're marketing it to. You know, who is your target audience? Who is that one person, that avatar that is out there that you're trying to connect with? Okay, that's the first thing. A lot of times people go out and they make a video and they just have this really cool concept and they just throw it out there and they don't give any regards to, is the person that's going to consume this actually going to act on it? Is this going to drive them to make a decision to take the next step in this buyer's journey, to click the buy button, the more info button, whatever that commitment or micro commitment you're looking for to move them down the channel or the funnel? That is what that video should be doing, is having a purpose and a person to have that purpose with. So you have to think about, am I shopping this video or showing this video, marketing this video to a specific person that is already aware of my products? Am I making this video for people that have no idea who I am and what my products do? Does that person I'm marketing this video to, or who this video should be speaking to, does that person even know they have a need for my product, or that problem is something that they've just accepted? You really have to peel that back. And this is the first step in the storyboarding process. So the first step and the second step, they're kind of one and the same because they really do feed each other to complete the first and second step of the process. So I'm just going to call it step 1A. Step 1A is identify who you are marketing your video to, who you're creating this video for. So you have to go through and you have to say, I'm looking for somebody, and I think we used a weightlifting fitness example yesterday, so I'll do that again today. I taught a class yesterday, so I may have used it in it. Either way, it's the same concept. When you have someone that is making a health product, and we all know marketing health products on Facebook, extremely difficult. And we're talking about Facebook video here, in particular Facebook, Instagram, social media video. When you're making something that's going to be a health product, you have a lot of different versions of what health is. It's, you know, do I know I have chronic pain that is curable or treatable? We can't go out and talk about that directly on social media. The guidelines and restrictions prevent us from giving medical advice, and even really a gray area where we're kind of skirting around that. So, do we have a health issue that people are aware of? And that's going to be a quality of life. So we're going to turn around and look at the guidelines, which restrict us from saying, hey, this is going to help cure your muscle ache, okay, we have a quality of life. So we might want to create a video that lets people know if you're someone of the age of 45 and older and you're a construction worker, once again, we're isolating who this message is for, and you come home at the end of the day and your elbows just ache because you've been swinging a hammer all day, there's a better way. There's a way we can help you with that. So that video needs to speak specifically to that person, no matter how much we put into a video that talks about the quality of what we do and how it works and how fast it works and all this other thing that you can fill up 60 seconds. We need to take this into a 15-second storyboard that one says, who is this for? In this case, we're going to talk about manual laborers, construction workers, mechanics, things like that have muscle ache, that are sore at the end of the day because they're working with their bodies. Okay, we're talking health. Bet you were thinking we're going to go bodybuilding, weightlifting. I may have even said that in the beginning, but we're going to actually kind of show you how isolated you can get down, how much you need to think about who this person is. So that storyboard is going to start with a description of who our avatar is, who that person is we're marketing to. A construction worker, 18, 22, 25, you're probably not really falling in this category, although you could. But we're probably going to look for someone that represents someone in the 30 to 45-year-old category, probably upwards of 30, 38, 39, somewhere in there. So we want that type of person. Physically picture that person in your storyboard. And then they're going to be wearing a hard hat, they'll be wearing a tool belt, whatever that is. We're starting to concept what we're going to create. We're not just going to say, hey, let's create a video about this guy that does this and we'll talk about our product and this. No, we need to be specific. So our point of interest, our character, our subject will be a construction worker, upper 30s, tool belt, carpenter style, could be a mechanic. Either way, that's the person we're talking to. Now, once again, 15 seconds. So what are we going to do? Our first 2 or 3 frames are going to dictate these are the first 3 shots we want in that video. Now, these are going to be very quick shots, maybe slow motion, someone swinging a hammer. We're showing a construction worker working hard, carrying boards. The day goes longer, he gets sweatier, dirtier, and maybe that 4th, 5th frame, he sits down on the back of his tailgate and he just starts rubbing his arm. Okay, and what are we doing? We're connecting with that person. We're helping them understand, we understand your problem. Once again, the problem, we went from the avatar, the second step is now identifying the problem. Now, in a physical environment, you ask someone, what brings you in today? What can I help you with? They say, oh, my arm hurts. Well, that's communication, but we're removing that communication by marketing with video or copy if we're doing a blog post or copy for a advertisement. But in this case, we're talking 3, 4 frames that we have a chance to show people we understand who you are, what you do, and what your problem is. So that is the first step in the buyer's journey, is problem. Now we need to make them aware because they may be unaware that this pain is something that they can solve. So we want to show the work they do, to say we understand what you do. We understand that at the end of the day you hurt and this is your problem. And then the next thing we want to do is talk about the solution, or introduce immediately, here's the resolution. And that's where we go from the tailgate truck where the guy's rubbing his arm to the guy that sits down, or maybe he makes it home and he comes in, sits at the dinner table and his arm hurts, and his wife comes up and hands him your product and then rubs it on his arm and he smiles and he starts doing this and starts like, wow, this feels good, So we're talking the first 4 or 5 frames, we're painting we're painting the avatar and we're painting the story, or the problem, I'm sorry. Once we do that, we move on to the solution, which is either on the tailgate, coworker hands him the cream, the pain relief cream, or when he gets home, his wife hands him the cream or puts the cream on his arm. And through that process, we're showing the solution, we're showing that this works. And now we want to kind of tie all this up and really help connect with them. And that's where you see the kid come running in and dad picks him up and throws him in the air. And the happy family, the solution. This is the end result. This is the quality of life. This is the life-changing result from using our product. Now, I use that word, I teach it in the class, but life-changing means not, oh, I'm never going to be, I'm going to be a whole new man, a whole new person, my whole life has changed. No, the experience you expect with interacting with that product or that solution or that service is the life-changing. What is their expectation? Oh, this cream probably won't work. Holy cow, it worked. That's life-changing. That's what I mean by that. So you want to show that around the 7 to 10 second mark. I take that back, I'm sorry, we've progressed past that. We're probably about the 9th, 10th, 11th frame. That's where we want to kind of show that. We want to utilize the last 2-3 seconds of the video to introduce a CTA or a call to action. That's a 15-second video. So when I talk about a frame, I'm kind of condensing that into a 1.5 second frame. Now what that means, you can put 3 or 4 different things in a 1.5 second edit. But when you storyboard it, you need to kind of show what you're trying to talk about. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to talk about it again. First 3 frames, we're identifying with the avatar. We're defining who we are marketing to. We've already taken a separate step where we've drawn this person out physically and said this is a construction worker about this age, and this is who we are. This is our example subject. Then we put that subject into frames 1, 2, and 3, or the first second, the second second, and the third second, and we show them, we identify, we know who you are, we know what you do. So when we come to that problem, they believe we've been there. We understand that pain. We know what it's like to swing a hammer all day, pick up boards, end a 12-hour day, sit on the back of your truck and wish you had stayed in school. Just kidding. But that first 3 seconds is dedicating to connecting with that avatar to prove that we know who you are. We know why you end up with this problem at the 4th second. At that 4th second, we're showing the solution, we're introducing it in an environment that is realistic to what they probably would feel at home, be it a construction worker, another coworker recommends it, a family member recommends it, and then there's that doubt. That doubt is that next step where it's like, we kind of have to kind of skirt over it real quick because everyone's like, oh, will this stuff work? And that's where we show it being applied. That's where that doubt, yeah, I've seen creams before, I've tried it. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. But we show it, we understand that there's a part where you have to try it. And then when you try it, that's where the kids come in and we throw them up in the air and we have all this mobility all of a sudden. And that's how we connect with that user. And hey, this is the result, that life-changing result from using our product. This is your solution. Then we take the last few seconds to talk about the product or how to find the product or the next step in our sequence. But this is all done in 15 seconds. A 30-second video will not do this. Nobody's going to watch all of that. We talked about in the last video, 4 seconds. 4 seconds seems to be the average video view time on Facebook right now and Instagram. People aren't watching videos past the 4 or 5 second mark unless they're very engaging. And if you can connect with somebody, once again, that avatar, that first 3 seconds, because we have 4 seconds, that first 3 seconds says, hey, we're your people. We understand what you do every day. You swing a hammer. We know that. We understand that. You lift boards. You physically exert yourself all day long. We are your people. That will get them over that 4 second mark into that 5 second mark, which exactly right there, what did we do? Remember 4 or 5 seconds in? We switched to the problem because that problem is what makes them go, oh, I know how that feels. We get another 3 seconds out of them right there where they're identifying with the pain. And then right about when we start to lose their interest, we show them the solution. Here's the cream that is going to help you with that pain. And they're going to say, oh, there's a cure, there's a solution, or that doubt. I've seen this before. We got a real quick moment where we get a second to put it on, and we got the next second after that, we're introducing the kids and the mobility and the better, maybe they're at their softball game and they're doing just fine. Whatever it is, however we validate that this is going to solve their problem is done in a sequence that keeps them watching that video to the end. which isn't 30 seconds in, which isn't a minute in, it is 15 seconds, 14 seconds in. And in that moment when they've seen the whole thing and they go, I wonder, boom, we'll wonder no more. Click here for more information. And we've successfully made a video that will convert. Now that conversion doesn't always mean a sale. I would never ask for a sale on the first video someone watches. Now they may find it by accident, maybe shared, and they, because of the social value of seeing his peers, that person's peers share a video, they may move a little further down the journey and click a buy button. But most likely that first view is going to just be, I didn't know that existed. I wonder if it works. And then through our pixel, we're going to capture that information, say this person watched our video and watched almost all of our video, if not our video in its entirety, because we made a video that would be viewed way past what the average is by the majority of the people. And they go in another category where we continue to feed them another video that has the same type of sequence and a different storyline to make them connect, saying, oh, that's that, I've watched this video before. Maybe they watch again because it's a little different. And after that second one, I'm probably going to retarget that person through the pixel again to show them a 30-second video, which we'll talk about as we go down this chain, that they see a little more information. It has a little more product information because they're primed and ready to learn more. And at that, they may have a small call to action that may convert to a sale, but they're probably going to ask for something to take them a little further. So in that video, we'll ask them to push a little further. And then that third time, after we capture that information through the pixel again, that third video, or that fifth video actually down that chain, they're going to get an actual offer. And usually the best way to do that is, hey, save now, get 2 for 1, or $5 off, free shipping, whatever it is. And that's where we get a higher sales conversion off of that video. But that video, that very first video, 15 seconds, no more, in the sequence. Now, whatever you sell, you can take that same sequence I just put together and apply it to your product, because we all have a product. We all have an avatar that needs to identify with that product, and not a broad stroke, a very narrow stroke of who that avatar is. Once we do that, we can identify their particular problem and show it in a video format that lets them identify, like, ooh, that's me. I've been there. I do that every day. That's what I got. And oh, you hurt too? I hurt too. And then we introduce a solution that they say, oh, I've never heard of that product. I never knew that product existed. I didn't know there was an option to take this pain away. And then from there, we show the application, which is go ahead, give it a try. That's where the doubt is. Yeah, I'll try it, but it probably won't work. And then we turn around and we deliver the life-changing result. Once we've done that, we've completed that buyer's journey, and we make the offer for them to learn more. Not buy, learn more. And if we do that correctly, we'll start converting people through our pixel and taking them and recategorizing, retargeting, and moving them further to the buy button. Now, that's video 1 in a sequence. Like I said, I would make two at a minimum. 3 is what I prefer of those videos that are very similar in style in terms of who your avatar is. Don't go too far away from one or the other, because you're going to show that same person in that retargeting effort another video that's very similar that may show a different aspect of the problem. Maybe instead of the end of the day, they're sitting on the truck and their arm hurts and they're showing that. Maybe it is after work, they drag in, they pick up their softball glove and they got their uniform on, and now they're like, oh, quality of life is suffering here. I don't know if I can go to my softball game. Yeah, that's the same problem, same avatar, different problem, or different manifestation of the problem, because everyone has different things. Some people, they work all day, they go home, and they just want to be with their family. Some people have active lives, and they're starting to sacrifice that active life through how hard they work through the day. You know, we can take that same narrative and put different manifestations of the problem. The problem's still the same. I still have pain in my arm, but it's starting to manifest it in a way that's reduced my quality of life. And then the end result, put the cream on, next thing, or he's sitting on the bench waiting to go up at bat. Teammate hands him the cream, he puts it on, next thing you know, he's out there and he's swinging for the fences. Boom, we've shown that life-changing result in a different way with the same avatar that has the same problem, but a different manifestation of it. If we can do that 3 different videos in that 15-second format, we can really retarget some people and really connect with people. And The next part we're going to talk about is that second video. That second video that's a little longer, delivers a little bit different information, but still isn't too sales pushy. So that third video, that's going to be the longer video. If you like longer videos, once again, I prefer to go back and maybe a shorter video for that third video, because I feel like if you've done your first and second job correctly, that you've delivered information properly, that it doesn't take a whole lot to get them to go ahead and buy. So the sales happen in that third series. You get some from the second. You should expect none or very few from the first. Okay? So that's it, guys. I hope this helps. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I will not be making a video on Thanksgiving, but Friday I will come in and I will follow this up with the third video in the series. Not sure what the day is going to be, so it might pop up on YouTube on Saturday, but either way, you will have the second video in the series, and then the beginning of the week, I will follow up with the third. If this helps you, if you have any questions, want any clarifications, I know I kind of talk fast, go down in the comments, leave a question. I will be happy to even just break out and show you examples if I need to, but I want you to understand, stop wasting your money on the videos you're making, because you're making them wrong. I applaud you for taking the effort and making a video and trying Facebook's marketing out, because video is the way you want to go with Facebook, with YouTube, with Instagram, with your website, with your emails. Everything can benefit more from your video when it comes to your sales, but you need to make them properly. So take a listen again, rewatch this. If you have any questions, hit me up below. Please subscribe, hit the bell, that way you don't miss a video when I put it up, because I'm going to probably do these in series of 3 or 4, so you can learn little bits and pieces. If I'm moving too fast, if you want me to slow down, I will do that, but just let me know in the comments below. I'm Jim, 03 Studios. Get out there, be social, guys. Have a great Thanksgiving. That's right.